Hello everyone and welcome back to this channel. So in today's video I'll be showing you how to cut and sew a 3-step flayed dress. So guys, if this is something you like to learn, come on, let's get started. So the measurements you'll be needing is the waist circumference and the full length of whatever you're making. So for the waist circumference, you divide it by 6.284 because this is a full circle flay. And for the full length, remember I am making a dress, so I'm just going to minus my half length from this full length to get the exact length of the flay. Right, so next we're going to go ahead and measure for each flay. So the first flay, which is the shortest flay, I'm going to divide this 13 we have here by 3 because it is a 3-step flay. So if you're making 4 or 5 steps, you just divide it by whatever number you're making. So I'll divide it by 3 and this is what I have, 4.3 for the first flay. Then the second flay, I'm going to times this first one times 2. That is times your first flay times 2 will give you the amount for the second flay. And for the third flay, if you times the first one by 3, you still get the same thing. So this is what we have for the first flay. I have 4.3, the second I have 8.6, then the third flay, which is the longest, I have 13 inches. So I hope you guys get that right. So next I'll be showing you how to fold for each flay. So we are starting with the third flay first, that is the longest flay. I'm just going to add 13 plus my waist circumference divided by 6.284, which is 3.1, plus seam allowance, both the hemming and the joining to the dress. So altogether I have 17.6. That means I'll be folding my fabric by 17.6 in 4 places. So I'll be showing you how that works. So for the second flay, I'm just doing the same thing, adding my waist circumference divided by 6.284 plus seam allowance to get the second flay, and I had about 13 inches. Then for the first flay, which is the shortest, I had 9 inches. So all this calculation is just to know how you're going to fold for each flay, and we'll be doing that shortly. So folding for the longest flay, that is the third, I'm just going to measure what I have. I had about, remember we had about 17.6 inches, so I'm just folding 17.6 inches into 2 like so. Then we'll go ahead and fold it again. I'll be making sure I have the right amount on this part. Then on this part, I'm also going to mark my 17.6 inches here and also here. Then pick it up like so and flip it over. So doing this, we have 4 equal parts. It is like a square. So each side will have 17.6 here and 17.6 here. So this is a perfect square. So I'm just going back to show you this is the measurement we had for the third flay. So next we're going to mark around this area the waist circumference divided by 6.284. I had about 3.1, so I'm just going ahead and marking 3.1. Note how I kept my tape rule and took 3.1 inch downwards. Next, for the third flay, we had 13 inches plus seam allowance, we had about 14.5. So I can just go ahead and mark 14.5 from this line we already ruled, or you can just continue from this beginning point and just go ahead and mark 17.6 inches. It's actually the same thing, but I prefer this method because it is more accurate. So now we can go ahead and cut out what we have. So starting from the length of the flay, I'm going to cut out this part, then also cut out the circumference of the waist. So this is the third flay, the longest part. I also went ahead to cut out for the second flay. So I'm just going to cut this part out. Then for the circumference of the second flay, I'll be placing my third flay on it like so, and I'm just going to cut them out together. You can also just go ahead and mark out your waist circumference like we did on the third flay, or you can as well do this method I'm also doing. It's the same thing. So I also went ahead to cut for the first flay, as you can see, and we have all 3 flays together. So for the sewing part, if you're working with a lining, go ahead and cut out your lining the same way and just join the lining to your flay. But I won't be working with the lining, so I went ahead to hem the down part of each flay and also went ahead to join the flays together on the top. As you can see, they are joined, and we have the first on the second and the second on the third. So we have all three flays together like so. And also I went ahead to make the upper bodies of this dress. So I'll be fixing this to the upper bodies. Folding your flay into two, you just want to get to the midpoint and notch that midpoint. I also did the same thing on the upper bodies. So when I've gotten that midpoint, I just notched it, and I'll be placing the both notch parts together, right side facing right side, like so. Then I'll go ahead and sew all the way down to the sides. So after joining the upper bodies to the flay, this is what it looks like. It came out really nice, and I hope you guys try it out. So yeah, if you found this video helpful, do not forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel if you're yet to, and we'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Bye.